his path has been just truly remarkable. I think he brings an awful lot to the table, much different than what the traditional alumni who graduates, gets a job, and serves a distinguished career.
I was in the Air Force ROTC program as a freshman and a sophomore. Very turbulent. Those were significant demonstrations, and so after 2 years I said, no, I think I'm not going to pursue that. And so it's interesting later on in life when I'll come back to the Air Force that, of course, it's become such an important part of my career.
He decided to join the military and started his rather phenomenal career in the Air Force.
He served as commander of the 76th Fighter Squadron during Operations Desert Storm and Desert Shield. He flew combat missions in Operations Desert Storm, Deny Flight, Northern Watch, and Southern Watch. He was commander of the Joint Task Force of Southwest Asia and commander of the 9th Air and Space Expeditionary Task Force in Southwest Asia, based in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
April 2001, I gave up command in Saudi Arabia and moved to Tampa, Florida, with the view that, boy, what a great location. I'm back in Florida. I'm close to the water. I can buy that boat I've been lusting after for all these years. In fact, I did in middle August of 2001. And, of course, September 11th, 2001 changed all of that for everyone.
Suddenly, Major General Renuart was part of the team developing military strategy and policy that would have an impact on the United States and its allies for years to come.
How do we begin to find and fix the people responsible for this and create a military operation that demonstrated the commitment of not just the United States but the rest of the nations of the world to counter terrorists and counter governments who harbor terrorism? And really the first significant briefing that was given to the President was done on December 28th in Crawford at the ranch. General Franks and I flew to Crawford and sat down with the President and on a video teleconference the rest of the cabinet and laid out what was the beginning of many iterations of the planning effort for what eventually became Operation Iraqi Freedom. The night before we began operations in Iraq, we were on a video teleconference. There were 12 generals plus the Secretary of Defense and the President and his senior leadership team. 9 of us were sending our children into combat that night. So the personal impact of what you're doing hits home pretty significantly when you really start to look around. Sons and daughters were going to be put into harm's way. So you had a vested interest in making sure that you had done a damn good job of putting together a plan that was as executable and supportable as possible.
Then in 2006, Lieutenant General Renuart was asked to interview for the position of Senior Military Assistant to Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld.
And so I did interview, and he afterwards said, you know, basically, you're selected, when do you start? Yes, sir, Mr. Secretary, whenever you'd like. And then in the process of Secretary Gates coming aboard, he spoke with the staff and asked if I would stay on with him as he came into the office.
And then, of course, his final assignment was as head of NORAD and was ultimately responsible for the defense of the homeland.
It's the only joint command that we have in our military focused on truly the defense of our homeland.
And so through his final command, General Renuart felt the desire to protect the country that he fought for throughout his distinguished military career.
Here we have a person that devoted his life to the country, when a lot of other kids, and I can personally attest to that, back in the late 60s and early 70s, sought other paths purposefully. So I think that this is an opportunity for Indiana University to really recognize truly distinguished service to the country and to the university.